what did you think as far as when the Fitch fight was over? I mean, were you watching close enough to scoring in your head, or you kind of,
honestly, I was watching it as a fan and not really, calculating who won each round. So I wasn't calculating those numbers in my head, and really some of those rounds were tough to call. So I'm glad that I wasn't a judge in that fight.
How do you feel about the outcome?
I think that, listen, when you put it in the State Athletic Commission's hands to judge, that's what they do, and I think that they called it the way they saw it.
Do you think the judges did a good job, though?
I think that it's control versus damage versus control of the effectiveness in the beginning of the round, and every judge is going to have his own style, and like I said, there's some times in that fight where I wasn't really watching it like a judge. I was looking at more as a fan. So, I'm not going to sit here and talk about the California State Athletic Commission. I thought that the fight was a fight. The judges called the way it was, and that's where it's at.
Could there be a problem, Scott, with that's a very talking about Rory and John, obviously. It was a very physically demanding fight, a very tough fight. Rory even admitted after, as I just mentioned, you probably heard it, that he needs to look inside himself to see whether he really wants to damage people anymore, Is there any concern that he may not be physically ready for June the 14th to fight Neiman Gracie?
Yeah, that's always a concern, but we'll circle back with their trainers and their management early next week. And as far as the comments, listen, he was in a all-out war tonight. He had to dig deep to win that fight, and it was I think that when you have a fight, you have to dig that deep. I mean, sometimes it takes some out of you, and I think that was his comments after the fight. He's very emotional, and I think that he was looking inward and seeing reflect the future. But listen, if he wants to fight, he'll fight. If he doesn't want to fight, then that's going to be up to him. We're not going to make anybody fight that doesn't want to be in there.
If for whatever reason he doesn't want to fight, would Fitch come back in, or would that be something we got to figure out?
Yeah, that's something we got to figure out, but we'll do it relatively quick manner because we're expecting Roy to fight Neiman at this point, and if that changes on Monday or Tuesday, we'll let you know right away. And I think that we have the alternate in place. We have a survivor rule we could exercise, so we'll let you guys know right away.
So it's pretty obvious that Rory is a champion because he didn't lose the belt despite the draw. But as far as the tournament, what's the rule that says that he's advancing despite not winning?
Because Rory did not lose the fight. You have to beat the champ to get the belt, and whoever the decision was early on when there's a draw, the champ will continue, and that's what happened tonight.
But that would happen if one of the fighters is a champ. So if there are two non-champs fighting and they came to a draw, then what would be the
then we have another. The decision of the judges would have to make a call. The judges would have to make a call at that point, and they know that. But because this was a champion fight, and just like boxing, I mean, the champ doesn't lose the belt or advance because he didn't get beat. So on the scorecards, he didn't get beat, and that's why Rory's moving forward.
Speaking of champs, you have your champ, Ali Malay, wins the fight and then immediately calls for a rematch for the person that she just beat. Does that make your job easier, or is that something that you guys already considered that fight because of how it played out?
I tell you, it's something that we would definitely consider. But, we're bringing more females in this division, and we're going to be signing more girls for her to fight. And I know Ilima feels like, she wants to have a superior performance, and Veda's a tough fighter, and we knew that coming. That she's a girl that's going to be in your face, and she's going to bring it. She's not scared, even when that cut happened. I mean, she's like, I'm ready. Like she's a warrior. So Ilima would love to fight her again. To me, it was a Muay Thai elbow that she dropped on there. That was it was perfectly clean, fair shot. And it cut her open, and the fight stopped. But I think that that was turning out to be a great event, great fight.
What other opponents did you have in mind for her? Granted, you don't do the rematch?
Well, I can't talk about that right now, but you know, we could maybe talk in a couple weeks about that.
Gaston Bolanos was a fighter who had a great performance and keeps, you know, on his winning ways. Do you think it's time for him to maybe get a step up in competition, maybe get one of the top guys? You know,
I think that every time he fights, I think his competition steps up. I don't think his opponent has ever been stopped. And Gaston is a guy that, what I love about him is he's continuing to get better and better and better. And, you know, when you can do Muay Thai the way he does and fight, you know, stand up and do MMA the way he's learning, I'm proud of the kid. I think he's got great potential. But I think we have been stepping him up. But, yeah, I mean, at some point he's going to have to really step up to fight some of the top guys and test himself. But, you know, he will kickbox as well. So he's going to be very busy. And, you know, we'll talk to Carrion next week sometime and find out what they want to do.
Scott, Phil Davis obviously put in a brilliant performance, one of his best striking performances we've ever seen. He wasn't shouting at you, but he said, I really want to fight for the belt now. Obviously, you've said that Ryan Bader, not Ryan Crabb, Ryan Bader will fight, will defend the heavyweight title.
Don't worry. Ryan Bader's not going to be available, but Ryan is available. So
just throw him in. Obviously, he's going to defend the heavyweight title against Czech Congo, you've said, next. So, what do you do with Phil? I mean, how do you keep a guy...
Well, we keep him busy. We'll give him another good fight. I mean, I think that he had a fight with Nemkov, and maybe we have a rematch, you know, there. But, you know, Bader will fight in a matter of the next 3 months or so. So he will be active
France
fighting.
has come available, so could that be in France?
You know what? That fight will not be in France.
Okay.
Sorry, and I'm not even sure about the legality of France yet. So I heard it's going to be in September sometime. But I think Bader will fight Congo sometime late summer. We'll have something announced soon, and then, you know, we'll ask him to come back and fight at 205. And if he doesn't, then he can stay at heavyweight, and then let somebody else fight for the belt. But he will have the opportunity to fight for both.
Thank you.
So in regards to international plans, you know, there's hot spots that we've talked about. You know, there's, say, Brazil, Russia, East Asia, the Colosseum in Rome. What can you say about some of these things?
I mean, we kicked off a great European series in the UK, starting with the Newcastle fight. It was a sold-out event. We went to Dublin, sold-out event, had some great fights. We're coming up on next week, Birmingham, then London. We're going to put some amazing fight cards on in Europe. And then, you know, once we kind of get that series going, which is now getting good momentum over there, it's nice to have a broadcast partner like Channel 5, which is really like CBS here, and then also Sky Sports carry all the events from here. Like tonight's fight will be on Sky Sports live in the UK because of, you know, you guys know all the keyboard warriors that were, you know, upset because they couldn't see it live in the UK. I heard from all of them, so it's a great feeling to not have to worry about that.
No more Peppa Pig.
Yes, no more Peppa Pigs. You know, that will go down in MMA history at some point. But, you know, it's a good feeling to have such a great support. I mean, I think that when you talk about the UK and Ireland, you're talking about the best combat sports TV distribution that's available up there between the two networks. So we're doing a lot of good work over there, and then. You know, we will switch it to maybe taking our series and creating a Latin American series as well as an Asian series. So this will be a company in the next 2 years. We'll do probably 50 events a year, and we're going to create a localized series for the local endemic audience there to grow their homegrown talent, to see fights in their time zone with the fighters that they like to watch.
One or two more?
France was just talked about. I mean, I know that for years it's been illegal, so you're actually looking at going there at some point.
We're monitoring it, let's put it that way. I know that our legal department is talking to Government Affairs Department of ICOM, who's talking to the government in France. So there's some dialogue, but I'm not really too familiar with it. I know that there are people working on it from the Vicom level at the highest, you know, corporate level. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.